Welcome, guys. Today I'm going to be showing you a step by step a voice appointment. Sorry, not voice appointment, voice receptionist for a home servicing company. It's going to be built in 11. So, what this voice receptionist does is basically it can handle customer support questions. Like if the customer has any inquiries about the services, it can answer questions from the knowledge base that it has been provided, and it can all this voice agent also supports multilingual language as well, so it can speak both English and Hindi. So it can keep changing language during the conversation if the caller requested, and then can also schedule appointments as well, and can also handle customer complaints. So handling customer complaints is basically creating a Zendesk ticket. So I've created a custom tool over here called create a ticket. So this is just connected to Zendesk, so that the ticket will be sent to Zendesk, and from there your customer support team can reply or do some of other automation. So I'll show you the back end. In my previous video, you must have seen that I built everything in make.com, but in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build it in so in N8N, the I said it will also this voice agent can also schedule appointments. The calendar integration is also in Google Calendar only. But in this N8N, you can see this is the workflow. Do not get intimidated. It is simple only. So I'll show you how you can build all of this step by step. But in make.com, if you have watched my previous video, we used to create like four separate tools. Like there used to be like we used to go, click on add tool and click on a webbook tool, and we used to like four different tools, like one for check availability, one for booking appointment, one for canceling and rescheduling. So four different tools and four different workflows also in make.com. So it used to take like a lot of space and workflows and also executions. But in N8N, you have the ability to build all of those things in this one scenario or a workflow by using this AI agent that is connected to this four. Now, first, let me just show you a demo over here. I will not, no, okay, no. Let me show you the step-by-step process, and then later on you can see the demo. So first, let's start with the ElevenLabs. So if you are new to ElevenLabs, just sign in. You'll get like a free 10,000 credits over here. I'm almost out of credits, but it's fine. So when you come over here, you will see this as your first what do you call a UI or something like this. You'll see you need to change from creative platform to conversational AI. That's where you build all the agents, knowledge based tools, adding phone numbers, all of those things. So let's just click on agents, and you need to click on create a new agent. So click on that, and you will get these type of options. This personal business assistant is like templates, not like templates. It's where like 11 Labs AI will only write the prompt and create the agent for you. But we'll start from a blank. Let's name YouTube voice reception. Oh no, let's say YouTube voice agent demo. So click on create an. So right now it is creating an agent. Now this is how you're going to be the dashboard. So just walk around checking out the different tabs over here. Like this is the agent tab, voice tab. This is where you can change the voices of the agent. Can if you want to use different type of LLM, or how do you want the TTS? If like if you are like a certain words, like how the AI should this AI voice agent should pronounce. Like if there's like some difficult words, how it should pronounce, you can also click on this add dictionary, and you can also import whatever this thing you want. It will support these type of file type, and in max 1.6 MB. You can adjust the stability, latency, speed. I'm leaving everything over here default. In analysis part, I'm going to come later. And also security, you can also enable authentication, do some type of overrides as well. All of these things. Post call webhook, this is where basically you have a call with the agent and you want the details, like in how in WAPI, where we'll get the transcript, the recording URL, all those things. That's basically over here. You can also do it through HTTP request, but you can also do over there as well. I'm just showing you this advanced set. Let me just start with the agent first. So the primary language is on English, but you can choose whatever language. Now, if you want to do multilingual, you just click on this additional language drop down, and you see there's so many different languages. Let's say I want to, like, the previous voice receptionist was Hindi because I live in India. I don't speak Hindi very well. I mean, I don't even know Hindi, but I'm just choosing Hindi over here because there's only three language options. There's my language is not over here, which is Kannada. So I guess when that comes Kannada, I'm going to be adding that. But just click on save. And also they in ElevenLabs they recommend enabling language detection. So that's based this one over here. You see this system tool called detect language, basically enabling that. You're giving this AI agent to, giving it more context, like when you need to, trigger this tool. So that's that. You should also be more specific in the system prompt as well. So let's start off with the first message. So this is for an home servicing company, right? So let's be like, thank you for calling. You just need to insert like any type of company name. So let's say thank you for calling like FixMate or something. Thank you for calling FixMate, Sarah, or any mail voice you want. You can type, I'm Sarah. How assist you today? So do that and click on save. You can also add variable as well. You can if you want to create a new variable also you can do that. Just click on create new variable. There also you can do that. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just open with double curly brackets, type in like the any type of variable name and click on close curly brackets, and you can see that's created a variable. So when you're doing like outbound call and all, you like, hi, is this name of the caller, like something like that you can do. So that's that. That's going to be a simple first. Now in the system prompt, let me add the time zone. This is the system prompt is going to be the most important thing, because how much ever you build is N8N or make.com, the workflows, pretty complex workflows. If the system prompt is not right, then it will not work. All the things that you've done is a waste of time. I also want to remind you, just keep clicking on, otherwise you will lose all the progress. Now here you can see bottom right corner over here, click on add time zone, because it is important that the voice agent knows that which time zone it is currently in. So do that. I will make it easier. I mean, sorry, slash Kolkata 18 Asia. Let's say, wait, let me go back. It should be there. I don't know why it's not sure. So just type the time zone you're in. Select the time zone that you. There's no, there's no way. There's no Asia also. Oh no, you just need to click on India. Oh sorry, my bad. Just click on India. Automatically choose Asia slash. Do that and click on save. Now it's going to be the same thing only, like how do you write a prompt? Like previously, everybody will be like, you need to give it a role or an identity or some type of overview. Then you will give like a context, some type of instructions, rules, guardrails it should follow, or some type of like step by step process that it should follow. I'll basically walk you through. So I don't want to keep using role again and again. Just keep changing the prompt, because if you're just using the same thing, like same headings like role, examples, or like some specifics, something like that, if you keep on repeating the same type of headings, it becomes boring for you as well. Like writing the prompt becomes boring for you, and also your creativity decreases as well. So it's always just keep changing. So just be like some type of, or let's say identity, because that's also another form of another word for a rule. Identity. Just go to chat GPT and type like different types of names, something like that. Ident- So you can be like, you are. I'm not saying that I'm not giving it a name, because I've already given a name over here. I'll just be like, you are outstanding or excellent, any type of this thing. You are an outstanding customer. Sorry, outstanding voice. Sorry, outstanding voice reception. I messed up the spelling over here, so let me just check the spelling. Wait, let me go. Let's see, receptionist. Reception. Yeah, just do that. I can't be bothered to check the spelling and do this thing. So just click on this thing. You are an outstanding voice receptionist for home service. company located in India. Your role uh, is to assist potential callers, because this is an inbound agent, so the callers are going to be calling this agent. So I've just written like your role is to assist potential callers, uh, assist callers with inquiries regarding our services, schedule appointments, and handle customer complaints. Yeah, so this is just going to be the identity. Then just click on enter. It will create a new space. Now we'll give, let's say, voice and persona, something like that. And you just give like list of like personality or voice it should be speaking, like the tone of your voice should be professional, and polite, something like that. Just click on save, because otherwise you will lose all the progress if you don't save it. The tone of your voice should be professional and polite. Then we'll be like, when speaking with the caller, speak like a human. So then speak like an human using phrases like, let me just see what are the phrases that I've given for. This is a new. Let me see. Go back over here. So this is the original voice reception. So let me see what and all I've given the voice and persona settings. See over here you have given like tone of your voice must be warm, professional, and polite. Speak clearly, use then maintain pace. So that's basically all voice and persona settings, like maintain a courteous, use soft, pleasant phrases like happy to help, let me check that, like that you can also do. So let me just copy all. So see, then this is going to be there. Yeah. Then let me just paste it. I'm just doing it right now because I've already written the prompt and I don't want to write the prompt again and again. So okay, let me just copy the prompt so that I'll explain you the prompt. Now all this prompt I've written over, I've only written. You can also like just put this the prompt like a raw prompt. Like this is the raw prompt. Okay, did not get copied. So wait, let me just copy this entire thing. No, maybe I don't want to copy entire thing. So this, yeah, now it got copied. So what basically I do is I just go right here, like I just write the prompt like how it is, even though if it contains like spelling mistakes, I don't do any of those things. Maybe at the final time, once I do checking again, that time I'll change the spelling mistake. But what I do is I just write whatever comes in my mind, like all the thought process that's coming, I just write it like how as it is. And then what I basically copy the entire prompt, just go to ChatGPT and be like, this is the prompt structure, do not change prompt structure, just refine the language, make it more like clearer, or like improve the English, something like that you can do, and it will give me that improved version, and I just copy paste that into the prompt. So that's all, it still works like that only. So that's that. So let me just show you the rest of the prompt. So the voice and personal settings, I guess you have seen. So it's got copy device. So let me just delete that. So yeah, then you give like the timings of the home servicing company. So I'll be like we are open from 9 a.m. to 8, like that. Then the instructions, so these are the instructions it should follow. So I'll be like, never speak or engage in conversation that is outside of home servicing field. So if someone says like what's today's stock market, or like what is the latest news about Russia or Ukraine, something like that, it will not answer. So then if the agent does not understand the caller's input properly, it will again will be like, sorry, could you please repeat that, and it will try twice. If it's still unclear, then it will offer to create a ticket, or you can connect a human agent or whatever you want. Then another instruction is, if the customer has any questions about servicing pricing, then it should answer from the knowledge base that it is provided. So all those type of things. Then another heading will be like handling customer complaints and issues. So if the customer has type of dissatisfaction with our services or some complaints, these are the steps that it should follow. So you'll be like, first it should acknowledge the complaint with empathy, because that's how humans work, right? We want to show empathy, and humans also connect through empathy. So we'll first acknowledge their dissatisfaction and show some empathy, and we'll start specific questions, like brief questions, to understand the issue. Like we'll ask for the service type, like when the service was booked, like what really went wrong, if the guy did not show up, or some bad behavior, or something broke during the servicing, all those type of things. And we're going to be categorizing the complaint as well. Like if like the complaint is like a serious issue or something, those type of things you can. And all of those basically does what, take all of the problems, and we're just going to be creating a ticket. So we'll take all the customer problems, we'll create a ticket. Or you can just if you don't want to create a ticket, you can also, you know, you can also hand over to a human also. I've not done that. I tried doing that, but just I have a Twilio, and also I do most of my bills. I'm doing everything is on a free account, so I don't want to pay. I know it's pretty expensive as well, so that's why I've not done the human handoff over here. But you can do that obviously. And scheduling appointments, because now this the first part is basically like having a conversation, how we should have a conversation with the caller. So that's going to be the first part. The second part is the instruction and how we should handle the customer complaints. Now the third part is going to be scheduling appointments. So all the scheduling appointments, check, book, cancel, reschedule, all it's going to be sent in one tool. All of that in one tool, connected to this N8N workflow. So that's going to be over here. So it'll be like when a user wants to book a service, ask for the name, service type, location, the address of their house, preferred date and time, email address, phone number, then confirm ability, then book, then cancel. Also is going to be the same thing. Like when canceling, you should only collect these type of details like email, preferred date and time, those type of things. Then tools, mention the tools to book, cancel, reschedule, and check availability. Call the scheduling appointments function. Then to change to different language based on caller request, call the language detection function, like that. Then to end the call the end call functions. That's that. And this is the final load. Final load is basically again, just give it a note so that it can refer to this notes, like what it should do. So it'll be like remember your role. So that's again calling to the first part over here. So this is your role. So always remember, and so all the different things you can read. So that's the entire system prompt. Pretty now, if you just keep scrolling down, you can always choose the LLM any different you want. Just keep it at default, because Gemini 2.0 is the cheapest one. But you can obviously choose an AI like GPT-4o, GPT-4o Mini, or Claude, any of those things. The temperature, keep it at default. The knowledge base is like a pretty small knowledge base. Just if you want completely to answer it only from the knowledge base, then change it to deterministic. Then it will not do any type of hallucinations or those type of things, but just leave it. And then agent knowledge base, you can just add the document. That's basically what I basically do. How I create knowledge base is go to ChatGPT. I'll be like, this is a home servicing company. I'll be like, what type of services does home servicing company sell? It will give me a list of services, and then based on these services, create a comprehensive knowledge base that includes pricing, the areas that you cover, all those type of things, and it will give me that. I just copy paste that into Google Docs, download it as PDF, and just click on add document. And so when you do that, you can click on this add files. So when you add file, you just add the PDF document over here, but I already have it over here, so let me just add it also. So when you do add it, it will show you like this, and it will also do some type of, it will 11 labs will also recommend you also. So it will be like your knowledge base is small enough to be included directly in the prompt for faster responses. So basically in my last video also I did the same thing. Like in the WAPI voice assistant, I told you in that knowledge base I showed you two ways. One is a RAG agent that was in N8N. So basically it will create a tool that through webhook, that is kind of RAG agent. So that's basically a supervised vector database. When you do all of that, it will increase latency because it's going through so many steps retrieving the file, then retrieved answer, and then giving a final response. It takes too much time. Another way I showed you, I just created a separate knowledge base node where and made it a global node, and that node has entire knowledge base. So it improved my responses much more faster. So what it does, you can just go back over here, you can click on knowledge base, and you can just like a small knowledge base, whatever you want, you can do that over here as well. Or if you don't want, you can just create another agent that's basically a knowledge base agent. And when you do that, when you create that one, then you just click transfer to agent. So when you do that, just give it a description like transfer to this agent to find answer, or if the user has some type of questions, just transfer to this agent. And when it got transferred to that agent will provide the answers to the customer queries. So you can do all, there's so many different ways you can be creative with it as well. So don't just follow the same structure. Like you see so many people on YouTube, they just do the same structure. Don't do that. You can always think out of the box and do. So enough of me rambling. So this is the custom tool. Let me enable end call tool. We want the agent to end the call on. So description will be like trigger this tool to end call. So just simple. Just click on that. Click on save. Click on save over here. The text language also we want it to enable because it's going to be a multilingual voice agent. Here you can be like, change. Sorry, no sorry. Use this tool to speak in Hindi when the caller requested for it, something like that. You can always you can also make like more specific prompt also. You'll be like transfer to only speaking this type of language when it meets like certain type of criteria. You can all of, so that's those two are, it's going to be the system prompt that's going to be enabled. That's it. Not leave everything. You can always fiddle with all of these things. Now let's create a custom tool, the N8N tool over here. How to create this thing? So let me just go back to here. Let me create a. Let me just hide this. Create workflow. You can just click on custom tools, add tools. We are going to be creating a webhook tool because we are going to be sending the details from this voice agent to N8N. So it's going to be a post request. So click on webhook tool, give it a name. Now I've given the name as scheduling appointments. So that's going to be the name of the tool, appointments. Give trigger a description will be like use this tool, check availability, book, cancel, and reschedule appointments for the customer. It's going to be a post request, and we are going to leave everything else the same. It does not require any type of authentication or something. The description part is going to be a required field. So the description part is basically what type of details you want to extract from this LLM. So we want to extract the contact details. So because we're going to be, this tool is going to be for booking appointments, canceling, check availability, and rescheduling. So we're just going to be extracting their contact details. So that's what we're going to write. So extract contact details of the, like their name, email, phone number, address, then what else? Address, service type, then preferred date and time, preferred date and time. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Yeah, just click on that. If there's some type of error, I can just come back to this. Do that. You create all the this thing separate fields for each of them. So it's going to be name, then give it a name, the name of the. Now let me just create a webhook URL over here. So just go back over here, click on this. Or if you don't know, just a shortcut for this is click on tab and search for webhook. Just click on, change this method from get to, then click on this test URL, go back to ElevenLabs and paste it over here, paste it here, and then just click on add. So when you do that, now this tool has been added, then just click on save as well. When that thing is there, go back to this, click on save, rename this demo 11, 11 labs, something like that. So this is going to be the webbook. I'll just go back over here. Now that's how basically the appointment tool has been booked. Now I just created for the name. You obviously need to create it for like email, and then we'll also create another one for phone number. Then again you'll do for email, then preferred date and time. And again I do recommend now how to all of you capture all of those details in this one tool. You need to create another tool, another path, body path, like a summary, this thing body summary, give like a summary or a query body. So what this basically does, analyze, just give a description like this: analyze and identify the caller's intent, like check if they want to book, cancel, or reschedule, something like that. Do like that, and then give it an example how it should, how the summary or the query should look. So what we are basically doing in that, now you can see now I've created separate path field for phone number, email, name, then preferred date and time separate, service type separate. If you do all of that, it will come separate. But what I'm doing in the summary, taking all of those separate things, put it into this one part, so that I can take that summary and put it into AI agent, so that AI agent will understand it better, and then it can trigger the parts, the tools that is connected to that. So that's what basically doing. So when you click on AI agent, so just click on AI agent. Now it is, you need to provide a user input. You can see this user message over here. So click on, let me expand this. So in this user message, if you do not write this, for this to work, what I'm showing you basically, obviously you can also add like four different tools, and again create four different scenarios, and you can do that as well. But what I'm showing you is taking all of this and putting into one tool, and that we're going to sending into AI agent that's going to handle all different parts. So that's what I'm showing you. So for that to work, you need to send an user message. So if you do not create this summary, then you have to you need to send like all the different body parts that you've written. Like uh, I don't think so. I can write over. Okay, it's not connected. That's why. But you need to create like separate field, like one for name, one for email, one for preferred date and time, one for service type. Then what is the status? All those type of things separate. But instead, it's much more easier to put all of that into one little small summary, like the two three sentences, and send it to AI agent. So that's what I'm doing basically. So that's what I do recommend you guys also do. So basically build like the so this is what you, this is how the example should be. So the caller wants to book appointment for tomorrow at, so you can just do you can when you do this, you just this query field is going to be sending in the AI agent the user message. And then when you create like a separate tool, so let me just discard this. So when you create in this separate tool, you're going to be sending the summary as well, but also the other tools as well, other paths. So you're going to be sending all of this also. So you'll receive all of that in this webbook, and from there you can just map it out with this tool. So it becomes very easy also. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if you guys understood, but I will show you the process. So this is like simple book an appointment. Now let's say if they want to reschedule an appointment. So we'll be like the caller wants to reschedule an appointment that they had booked for tomorrow. Let's say 12:15 p.m. Reschedule the day about to let's say 3 p.m. That's that. So just click on. Okay, now we need to give description for all the other this thing. Unless that only you can't save. So let me just do that. The phone number of the caller, then the email of the, yeah, then just okay, then there's something must be okay. Yeah. Phone number. Okay, yeah. In this phone number, you cannot use a space. It should you need to use either underscore or like a capital letter like this, something like this. But there should be no space. So that's why I did not save. Now it, yeah, now it got saved. Now I will show you the N8N workflow, the one that is right over here. So I'm going to be showing you how you can build this step by step. So before we do that, now I just want to make a little bit changes to the summary. Just go to the scheduling appointments one. In the summary, the example, you also provide now. Here you can see have just given the caller wants to reschedule an appointment that they had booked for tomorrow at 12:15 p.m. and 3 p.m. Now you also give the name of the caller and also the type of the service, because it's much more better, so that it will automatically, like, map out the details, the appointment details, like in Google Calendar and also in the description box. So in that it will automatically map out the name, the service type, everything. So it will be the will be like the name of the caller. Here will be like, yeah, the name of the caller. No, okay, wait, no, let's rewrite everything. So uh, John wants to reschedule, and he had booked for tomorrow. The Let's say, let me just go if there are any calendar events. So let me just go to Google Calendar right now. Okay, let me just delete all of these things. Okay, so there's no calendar event. So today's 21st. Sorry, today's 20th. Tomorrow's 21st. So it will be like tomorrow 3:15 p.m. to. So John wants to reschedule an appointment he had booked for tomorrow at 3:15 p.m. to the next day 1:15 p.m. So we'll do something like that. So just click on save. So now we'll go. I'll show you how the step-by-step process. Now I'll let me just cancel all of this right now. So when you open N8 is a blank workflow. This is how it's going to be. So click on this. Shortcut is a tab. So just click on webbook. Create the webbook. I've already shown you the webbook. You need to change it to post test URL. Now I'm just going to re-add the webbook as well, because I deleted the previous web. So let me just go over here and paste, then save. Okay, now everything is saved. Now we're going to be connecting whatever you'll receive from the 11 labs. When you test this out, you'll receive a webbook response. Now whatever you receive, you'll insert that into an AI agent. So click on AI agent. Now before you do, you can see it is connected chat trigger node. You should select that and you should click on define below, so that we can access this user message. If you don't do that, if you just do that, you cannot access the user message over here. So do that, don't forget. And also you can see this add option button over here. Click on that and you can see the system message. That's basically the system prompt. So in the user message, we're going to be sending in the query. Now I told you the summary. The summary, like you can see, this query is over here. You can see that contains the summary of this. That is going to be the user message over here, so that it can easily understand. So I'm going to be doing that. Now let's talk about the system message, the system prompt. So now it is in a fixed message. Now we want to, if you want to use variables and all, you need to change into expression, so that we can dynamically input the data and all. When you do that, you can see this small button over here that will expand the prompt section. So let me just delete this and copy paste the prompt from this build over here. I will explain you through the prompt. I'm not going to be writing the prompt because it will take a long time. So let me just click on expand over here and copy this entire prompt. So just press Control C, go back over here, Control V. Okay, now I'll explain you. So this is basically like overview is just works like a role or identity. So you're a world-class calendar assistant. Your task is to assist user by creating, getting, rescheduling, and deleting calendar events. So that's the entire, the role. The tool section, we're going to be giving 4 tools. So these are the names of the tools. So in Google Calendar, there's a create event, delete event, get events, and update an event. So create an event is basically booking appointment. Delete event is canceling appointment. Get events is basically the check availability, and update event is rescheduling. So you just give a name like this and a brief description, like use this tool to create calendar events, a small one. And then we also some context, like how it should manage the calendar tools, how it should use. Like for example, to cancel an appointment, you must use the get events, because you will get the event ID first. So when you, I'll show you the way the event ID, and then you need to delete the events. Then you must use the delete event. For check availability, again, before you proceed with the booking appointment, i.e. the create event, this thing tool, you need to call the get events first, and then if it is available, use the create event. If it is not, just say sorry, that time is already booked. Update an event, again will be event ID. So we'll be like, you need to use the get events tools first, and then you must use update an event, and then delete an event and create an event, because for descheduling we'll find the event through the event ID we'll get with the get events from the get events. And after getting the event ID, we will update that event. If you don't want to update, you can just delete the event and then create the event. It's also, you can do like that also. And then final notes are given like the current date and time. You can see now, and also I formatted into this format. Now how do you do that? You basically double curly brackets, and if you just type a dollar sign and type in now, and you can see now over here, click on that. This is going to be the current date and time. Now if you preview this, I'll just show you the preview. So you can see the preview over here, it is in UTC format. You don't want it to this, you want, if you want it in your like a date time format. To do that, after now, just click on a dot button, a full stop button, then click on format over here. When you do that, by default this is going to be the date format. You can obviously change inside this single quote, you can change to whatever date format you want. So that's basically what I've done over there. So that's, let me just hide this over here, exit that. I've given it the prompt. Now the user message will come from the webhook, which I will not call the webhook from this thing over here. I'll use the pinned data over here, and from there I'll test it out. It's also more efficient, and also it will save you cost. It will save you credits as well. So that's why I'm doing that. So now we need to select chat model and a tool. So for chat model, you can choose whatever you want. I'll just use OpenAI, or you can use Open Router. Open Router is basically the same thing as how you can see all there's different options over here, different LLM models. A Open Router is basically the same thing that also gives you all LLM options. So you can do that as well. So let me just, where is OpenAI? OpenAI is that you need to make a connection already. That is through API key. I'm pretty sure you guys already know how to create the connection to OpenAI, because there's like hundreds of videos on YouTube already. So that's that. Now the tool section, just click on this toolbar and type in calendar, and you can see Google Calendar tool. Just click on. Now this is going to be a Google Calendar. Just exit this. Now we're just going to copy this, because we're going to be booking, checking, canceling, and rescheduling. So that's 4 tools. Just shift and select this, and copy this their tool. So paste it like another 3 times. Yeah. Now then connect it with the tools. Drag and drop. Yeah, that's all. Then after that, click on save, and you can see the small like a brush type of button over here. Just click on that. It will tidy up everything. It will make your work flow look easy to read. So now you can say I have not made any connection. That's why you can see this red tab over here. Just click on to make a connection is going to be the same thing. You just need to sign in with the Google, like how in make.com, how do you sign in with the Google? Same thing. When you do that, now the first, let's rename this. So this one is going to be get events. So this is the check availability workflow. So that is going to be get events. So for that, you can see leave the resource as event. You can see this operation over here. Click on that. It's going to be a drop select over here, and you can see this get many. So it basically retrieves many events from a calendar. So we want that. So click on that. So that's going to be your check availability one. And from calendar, from list is going to be your email. You can also choose by ID. ID again is just going to be your email address only, that is connected to Google Calendar. So let me just choose from list. So that's that. Now the limit after before, I'll come back to this later, because we're going to be using a function called from AI. So to input all of this dynamically, let the AI only decide all of this. So I'll come back to that later. Now the get events tool has been created. The same thing is going to be done for create event, delete event, and update event. So click on this create event one. So let me rename this. So let me remove this. Let me make this capital. So this is the create event, basically the booking appointment for workflow. Choose the calendar, this thing, and for the operation leave it create because we're going to be creating, so just leave it like that. Then go back to this. We're going to be deleting an event, so this is delete event. So from the operation just change to delete. You can just click on this and you can see delete an event. And the calendar is your email, and you can see this is the event id. So that we need to get this event id. So for that, that's why we mentioned it in the prompt that before you delete an event, you must call the get events tool, because we'll get the event id from there, then use the delete event to cancel the appointment. So that's why we need that over there. And even for rescheduling one also, it's going to be the same thing. For reschedule, just go to this operation and you can see this update an event. Click on from list. Again, it's your email. You can choose by id. It's also going to be your email, and we're going to begin needing an event id, which we'll get from get events tool. Default reminders, just turn it off. We don't need any default reminders, and leave everything else as it is. Just change as update event. The tool name should match exactly the tool name that you've given in the prompt. So I'll show you the prompt. I guess you must have realized that in the prompt you can see here it's create an event, create event, delete event, get events, update event. So this is plural and this is singular. So let me see if the tool name is also, yeah, all of that is correct. Now we need to input the user message for this AI agent, and here we need the event ID for both of them. So first, let me go back to the previous one over here, the pin data. Click on the webbook. To pin this data, let me hide this toolbar. You can see when 11 labs, when you test it out, it will call this tool. When you call, you'll see the information. That's basically the same information that you'll get. This is the tool information that you'll get from 11 labs, and you can see in the body parameters, the all the uh, different this thing path body parameters that I've given over here. You can see all this phone number, email, name, all of the same thing is what you get over here. So to edit this, you can see this edit tab, click on this, or to pin this, just click on this pin data. So I want to click on edit, and I want to copy all of this. So just press Control C, click on save over here, go back to this, and you can see there's no output over here. Just click on this edit tool and then paste in the mock data, the pin data, then click on save. Then this data, this webbook data is pinned. So now another thing I forgot to mention, now you got the webbook. Now how do you respond back to 11 labs? It's through a webbook response. So to do that, you need to go to this webbook, the first webbook node, trigger node. You can see this respond over here, it is set to immediately. You need to change that from immediately to using respond to webbook. That's how it's going to work. If you don't do that, it will not work. It will not use the response node. And you can also see that there are two different pathways, like a success and an error path over here. Or you can see this over here. Now to do that, again you need to click on this AI agent. You can come to the settings, click always output data, enable that, and you can see on error, it is by default it is on stop workflow. You need to change that from that to continue using error output. When you do that, you can see there are two different pathways you get. So with success, you need to connect a webbook response. So just search in webbook and you can see respond to webbook. That's basically that. When you do that, you can choose a respond with over here. Click on JSON and you can see a JSON body. In this, you basically type in the JSON. I'll do that all later. Okay, now that's that. Now, let me go back to this webbook or trigger node over here. Click on edit. Now I'll show you the first two tool working. So that's basically the get events and create an event tool. So that's checking availability and booking an appointment. So to do that, now let's just see go through the body parameters that we have sent. So it's for a bathroom deep cleaning tomorrow at 4 p.m. So let's change that preferred date and time tomorrow at, okay, let's leave everything, all of that the same thing, because the only thing that we are going to be inputting into this AI agent is the summary tab. So when you go here, the only thing that we're going to be inputting in this user message over here is going to be this summary tab. So we are not going to be inputting all the service type, preferred date and time, because all of this is inside this summary. If you haven't done now, I was explaining it to you guys before. If you did not use this summary or the query, this thing, what you must have done is basically like you need to create like a name and then go back over here, this name over here, then do this over here, then again for the phone number you must have done the same, you should do the same thing like this. So when you do like this, there's multiple input parameters for this, so then it will get confused or some type of error will happen. So it's best that you summarize all of these details that you collect in this separately into another separate field and store it inside that, and we're just sending that as a customer query. So just type like customer query. I hope you guys understood this part. If you don't, I guess just I don't know, just rewatch it again. So you can see, you can also see a little bit preview in the right side. So you can see that. Now let's just use the get events and create event. So let's go back to here, change the summary description. So let's say the caller wants to reschedule. I don't want to reschedule. Let's say I want to book an appointment. So the caller wants to book an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's not say caller, let's say John, because in the 11 labs also I showed you that let's include the name and also the service type, so that when you do that it will automatically create the calendar event with the booking details. I'll show you both ways now. Let's say if you just type in the caller or the user or the customer wants to book an appointment at tomorrow at 2 p.m. When you just do that, let me just click on save and execute this right now. So if first, okay, did not trigger the create event. I don't know what happened. Let's just check over here. Use period. Okay, it is asking when you do not include that, it's asking please also provide the duration of the appointment or any other details. So that's why it's asking now to do that. Now let me just check if the prompt is all right. Yeah, the prompt is all right. Let me just go back to this create event and see. Here I have not given the start time. My mistake. Yeah, they have not written the. I have not specified the what is the start time. The start time over here is basically now. So that's the basically the current date and time. So we do not want that, and also haven't specified the end time over here. Let me just disable this default reminders. Now here I showed you. I told you that I'm going to be using from AI. So just cancel this, and you can see it's already in expression. Now you can also, there are two ways to do this. You can just click on this. If you hover over this, you can see let the model define this parameter. If you click on this, it's just basically from AI we're using. So if you don't want to do that, just click on this thing. When you click on X, and you can also see they've also used from AI over here. So it's basically the same thing only. So let me show it to you how you can do it manually as well. So double brackets, dollar sign, just scroll down and you can see the from AI over here. Just select that and then double quotes, right? Like start time, because this is the start time that we want to give, right? So then comma, then again double quotes, and we'll just tell that what is going to be the start time. So it's basically going to be the caller's time, right? The customer's time. So you'll be like take the caller's, sorry, take the user's time. So that's basically the start time, or to take the user's appointment start time, like that. Here also we're going to be using from AI only. So double curly brackets, dollar sign, then just type from. You can type like that also. Then here is going to be end. Sorry, double quotes. Always in double quotes or single quotes. Anything work both ways, but I like using double quotes. In that end, uh, add 1 hour to the start time. So this I said let's book it tomorrow at 2 p.m. So the end time will be 3 p.m. When you do that, click on save. Now it should work. Now it will call the get events tool first and then create an event. Now when you create an event, it went through the success node part over here. Let me just click to this AI agent and you can see your appointment has been successfully booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Now let me go to Google Calendar and it booked the event, and you can see over here there's no, it booked an event, it did work, but there is no appointment details or the appointment name. So that's what I told you. Instead of go back to this webbook, in the summary response, if you just say like the caller wants to book an appointment or the user wants to book an appointment, the customer wants to book an appointment, it doesn't know it will just book the appointment but without any other details. So that's why, let me go back to this. That's why it mentioned the name. This, all of this you're getting right now, I'm writing it manually, but all of this is going to be written by this 11 labs AI only. So you don't have to do anything. It's just that in example, In the example that you give to this tool over here, or this summary tool over here, just make sure that you mention the name of the caller over here and also the service type. So, for example, John wants to reschedule an appointment that he had booked for tomorrow at 3:15 p.m. to the next day at 1:15 p.m. for like a service type. So I didn't mention here the service type, just mention like deep house cleaning. This data is basically the same data that you're getting over here. So just mention all of that. So when you mention all of this, it knows all the details and it will book it along with the details. So that's why. So let me just go back to this right now and let's say like John wants to book an appointment for tomorrow at 2 p.m. for it's a home servicing company. Let's say for plumbing service, something like that. Click on save. Now go back over here and you can see, go back to this another create an event. I'll show you how to add all the description and all. Now you can see here additional field, there's nothing over here. Click on add field and you can see description over here. You need to click on that description. You basically give all the mapping that you receive from the webhook. You can see the body parameters. So here will be like the name. So the name, just drag and drop. Okay, before you drag and drop, you can see here, I want to move this thing over behind the semicolon, the colon mark, but it's not doing. Why? Because it's right now it's in fixed function. You need to change it to expression. When you do that, it will go over here. Yeah. So that. Then email also. Then go click on email. Then what else? I will not send everything, but you get it's just going to be the description. Let's say the service type, just drag and drop. Then what else will be like location, because that's important, right? The address of their house. So let me map this field as description. Now that's that. Now this is the description field over here. When you go here, when you'll see all the description down below, that's going to be a description. Now for the event name, like the title, to do the title, you need to click on add field again, scroll down and you can see summary. In that, we are going to be using again from AI. Basically, click on expression, double quotes, dollar sign, then type from, and you can see the from AI. Here, just give it like a name, like a key, summary, then comma, then double quotes. Right now, it's in red because it's undefined. When once you run this again, then it will it will work. So the summary is basically like take the name of the customer and the service type, be like appointment booked for the name of the customer for the name of the service. So that's basically the summary. Let me just click on expand so that you can see it. You can see over here from AI double quotes summary comma some double quotes. Inside the double quotes I've given like a description. This description is basically telling the AI what it should do. So it should take the name of the customer and the service type, and it should be like appointment booked for the name. So it will be like appointment booked for John for like house cleaning, like that. So that's what I'm doing. Now let me just exit this and click on save, and let me now run this again. It will call the get events tool first. It did not call the create events, so there must be something wrong again. Okay, the time slot. Okay, see now it came like the time slot for tomorrow is already booked, so it's working fine because the 2 p.m. time slot for tomorrow is already booked. So let me just delete this right now. Go back to this and click on execute right now. Now it will call the get events and then create event. You can see it did that. Now it went to the success branch. Now go back over here. If you can't see anything, just click on refresh and you should see an appointment. You can see 2 p.m. appointment booked for John for plumbing services. See, that's and also with the details. So that's how we do. That's the first part of the, first half of this. Now the second half is going to be deleting the event and rescheduling the event. So to do that, we need the event ID. Now how do you do that? We'll let the AI decide for itself. Now again, just double click on this delete event tool. In this event, you again change from fixed to expression, double quotes, dollar sign, from AI, then double quotes. This is going to be event ID. Now, when you're doing this, make sure that you don't give space. Don't leave space like this. When you leave space like this, it will not. It should be either like attached to this or like underscore something like that. So it should be in that format only. So then, comma, double quotes. You'll be like the event of the event ID. Let me just expand this so that you guys can also see the event ID of the calendar event. So that's all. Now I'm just going to copy this because this same thing you're going to be inputting even in the reschedule, which is the update event ID. So again, just change from fixed to expression, then click on expand, and over here copy this. So that's basically that. Now first let me show you the rescheduling one, and then all together we'll do the delete one at the last. So click on webbook. So we're going to be changing the summary. Now, right now, I told you before already, right now I'm writing all of this manually because this is the testing process. But all this summary, this data is all going to be sent from this 11 labs. So when you speak to the customer, the agent will collect the details and it will send to webbook. So everything is written over here by right now in this testing purposes. I'm writing it manually so that I can show you. Otherwise, I need to keep running this again and again and again. I do not want to do that. I want to save some of my credits as well. So that's why, and it's much more easier and efficient. So now let's say I want to reschedule. So John, let me go over here and backspace. John wants to reschedule an appointment that he had booked for tomorrow. What was the date time? 2 p.m. So booked at 2 p.m. to the next day at, let's say, 4:30 p.m. So what we are basically doing is, now the appointment has been booked for 2 p.m. We are basically want to reschedule that same appointment that is booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m. to the next day at 4:30 p.m. So that next day is basically the 22nd July at 4:30 p.m. So let me just check once again. John wants to reschedule an appointment that he had. Yeah. Then click on save. Click on save, then click on execute. Now it will do the get events and it will call the update event, then delete and then create. Okay, now you just click on this AI agent over here and you can see John's appointment originally scheduled for 2 p.m. has been successfully rescheduled to the next day at 4:30 p.m. You go back over here. If you can't see anything, just click on refresh and you can see it moved the appointment from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. the next day, and it carried on the same details. It did not make any changes to the details. It was the same details. The only thing that changed was the date. So now let's, I want to delete this appointment right now. So now I've showed you, I've tested out both the check availability, create event, rescheduling. Now let's show the delete event. It also used the delete event in this only, but I want to show you delete event specifically. That's basically canceling the appointment. So let's say the user wants to cancel the appointment. So let's say John wants to cancel his appointment that was scheduled for, let's say, day after tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. So day after tomorrow is basically July the 22nd. So click on save, click on save. Now let me execute the workflow. Now it should get events and then delete the event over here. Now go back over here. Now you can see it deleted the event as well. So right, it now everything works fine, and it also went through the success branch as well. So now that's the entire appointment booking now. Sorry, appointment. Let's say appointment scheduling workflow or whatever you want to call it in N8N. Now the next thing I'm going to be using those things to filtering it out. Since we're doing all the three different, like four different things at the same time in this one workflow, like we're also canceling, we're also rescheduling, we're also booking. So the emails that you send out to the customer are going to be different, and also the SMS. So that's why we'll use a filtering over here to go separate pathways. So as soon as you get a response from the webbook, in the response from the webbook, what you're basically sending back to 11 Labs is I'll show you the response body. So open curly brackets always, double quotes, just type in result or whatever you give key name. So the value is going to be the thing that you get from the AI agent. So the output over here. So just drag and drop. You can't do that over here because I need to change it to expression. When you change it to expression, you can just type it over, drag and drop. Or if you don't want to drag and drop, you can just go over here, double curly brackets like this. When you do that, then dollar sign, and you can see JSON. Then do that, then click on dot button, and you can see output is going to be the same thing as the drag and drop over here. So that's basically that. Then click on save. Whatever the data we get over here, we're going to be filtering it out. So to filter it out, click on this plus button. You type a switch module. So click on that. So when you do that, it's going to ask for the value. So what we're basically doing is right now, the output that the AI agent gives over here. Now you can also tell this AI agent to give in the prompt section. You can also say like give it in a specific output. Like for example, if the customer wants to book an appointment, make sure the something like for booking appointment has been included or cancelled. Some type of differentiation. You can also do that. But what I'm basically doing in the switch module is basically taking the response from the output over here, drag and drop into this thing. Here I will change this text operator from is equal to, go to the string, and you can see this contains. So if in this output, if it contains the word book or like schedule, something like that. If you do that now, you can do this book slash schedule schedule. If these words are included in this output over here, you can see the word schedule has been included, then it should go to different output. So let me rename the output, give the output a name. So this will be booking email. So that's going to be the name. Now you can just go over here and you can see the name of your booking email. Let me just make the output name a bit shorter because you can't see the name over here. So let me just remove the email and just let it be booking. And you are going to add another routing rule and another routing rule. So we're going to be using the same thing. If the output over here, the output from the AI agent contains the text operator, contains, let's say this is for canceling. So let's say if it contains cancel, let me not do cancel. And for this, the output text operator contains rescheduled. Then go down that part. Now we need to rename the output. Click on enable this, give it output name. So this is for cancelled, cancelled. This is for reschedule. Now when you see, you can see that three different paths over here. So when you do that, now we're going to be sending an email and SMS and also logging into your CRM. So click on Gmail. Then we're going to be sending a message. So click on that. You need to create a credential. If you have, it's just basically again signing in with the Google. If you don't know how to do that, you can just click on this and you can see, click on more info or whatever to see the documentation. The send the to button is going to be the same thing what you get from the webbook over here. When you send a webbook, you can see, scroll down, you can see you'll get the email also. That's basically going to be the mapping. So the two is going to be, okay, let me just show you that. Let me, yeah, there's no event over there. Let's say what is the, let me run everything, all of this and show you. So let me see. John wants to cancel his appointment that was scheduled for day after tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Let's just book an appointment. 10:30 a.m. Let's just do that. Okay, I need to give the service tab. I forgot the service. Wants to book an appointment for tomorrow at 10:30 for plumbing. Let's keep it plumbing only. So click on save. Click on this. Click on execute workflow. Now it's going to call the get events, create an event. You can go back over here. You can see the appointment booked for John for plumbing service. Now the appointment has been booked. Now you can see it ran. So it gave a response back over here And also you can see it did not go through this because I haven't done anything, because there's no input data available. So let me just click on this. Now execute this step. Okay, it did not do this. What did I give? Okay, it should be only for booked. Now execute. Now you can see it worked. Booked because the word booked has been in the output and it went through the booking item path. It did not go through the cancel or the reschedule. So when you do that, you basically connect it to this thing email. When you connect to an email, you can see all the previous mapping data. So just click on webbook over here, go back to email, just drag and drop over here. So that's going to be the email. The subject will be like appointment book. So I'm just writing some basic, but you can obviously write an email, much better email. Click on email text type. So yeah, you just write the message as like appointment has been booked successfully or something like your appointment has been confirmed. Just type like that. So let me just go back over here. Your or you can also use dynamic variables as well. So just click on expression and expand this thing and go back to this webbook over here. You can be like, hey, then go back over here. Let's just go cancel this and you can see the name over here. Just drag and drop over here. Hey, so it's going to be like, hey John, your your appointment has been confirmed. Here you here sorry here are your appointment details below. So when you do that, you can just type like appointment date and time. So when you do that, you can just tomorrow at 4 p.m. So that's that. Then you can be like service type. So it's going to be this drag and drop, and then location. But type you can basically what I'm saying, and then that's the body, and you'll be like cheers. Then your company name, so it's going to be like fix mate, something like that, and you can also add like the company address or whatever you want, or just add space because you don't. Yeah, it's going to be, this is how the email is going to look like. So that's pretty simple. Then rename this thing as booking confirmation email. Then go back over here, just that. And then now we'll connect it to, now it will also, you'll receive an email connected to SMS that we're going to be using it through Twilio. So click on Twilio and you can see send an SMS. So just click on that. Now you should already make a connection with your Twilio account. It's going to be your account SID. So click on create new credential, and when you do that, you can see this account SID and the auth token that you'll get. That's basically when you log into the Twilio accounts, the account, the first dashboard that you'll see, you will see the SID and also the auth token. So you just copy paste it over there, and when you do that, you're going to be connected to this thing over here, and the operation is going to be send. So from number is the number that you purchased in Twilio. So when you buy a number in Twilio, that number you need to copy paste over here, and the to number is going to be the customer number. So that thing, how do you fill it dynamically? You just go back to the webbook. Sorry, where's the webbook over here? Yeah, you can go back in this trigger webbook node. You can scroll down in the body. Okay, in the body there's no phone number, but in the body you will also receive a phone number. So when you do that, you just need to go and map it over here. So right now, I'll just use my number, my own personal number, so that I can show you that the SMS also works. And here is going to be the message. So you'll be like, your appointment has been appointment has been successfully booked for, and you can also do dynamic expression, but I can't do that. You can't see any input data because this hasn't been run again. So when you run it once again, you can see the data all mapped out. So let me just do like a basic this thing. So appointment booked. Okay, just your appointment has been successfully booked. Yeah, let me just stop. Okay, now I'm going to pause this over here recording so that like I'll enter the my from number and also the to number. So let me just pause it right now real quick. Pause this and I'll enter the details and read out. Okay guys, now I've entered the details over here. Now I'm going to be running the entire workflow right now, completely from the scratch. So let me just delete this appointment, go back over here, click on clear execution and click on this tidy up over here. You can see, click on that. It will tidy up everything. So let me just make this much more better over here. Let me drag it over here. So what now we basically do is now let's say I want to book an appointment. It will create an event. It will go through the success node. Then it will go to this part where I'll receive and okay, I didn't write my email in this. So let me quickly add the email. So the email I've given over here is from the webbook. That's just a fake email address, but let me just give my email address. So please don't email me at this email. I am sorry, it's even don't send like any spam email. Yeah, now everything is fine. Now I should receive the email. Now click on save. Now let me execute this workflow. Now it will show me everything from the start. Get event, create an event. It will run through success. I'll get the email and the SMS. We'll check the appointment has been booked. And let me show you the email and also the SMS. Now the SMS you can see over here your appointment has been successfully booked. Now it has also said like sent from your Twilio trial account because I'm on a free trial. But when you upgrade the account, you will not see any of those things. So I got the email SMS. Now let me show you the email as well. So you can see over here, I got the email as well. I don't know if you guys can see this. So let me just show. Wait, let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can see this over here. Your appointment has been, hey John, your appointment has been confirmed. Here are your appointment details, and that's what I basically. So that's that. Now we are going to be adding that to the CRM as well. So the CRM that I'll be using this sheet because that's simple, very simple to set it up, and also it's very handy. So let me just do that. So now we are going to be append a row in a sheet. So again, you need to make a connection with Google Calendar, sorry, Google Sheet. That's basically signing in with your Google. Okay, now I already have a Google Sheet created over here. It has two sheets, appointment booked, cancel appointment with the same columns. You can see the columns. Okay, now let me go back to this thing over here. In this append a row, document from list is going to be calendar DB and the sheet is going to be appointment booked because this is the path of booking an appointment and you can all see the all the columns over here. You're just going to be mapping the same thing. So from the webbook that you get, so the name, just enter name over here and then email is going to be email there. Phone number, I've not received any phone number yet, but I'm leaving it blank. But when you receive, just map it like that. The service type is going to be here. The date and time is basically the preferred date and time. You can obviously change that also, format that. So summary is going to be this. Last modified column is basically a human. So whenever like a guy, like your someone from your team checks like your signs into Google Sheet or checks something, he can, like, if he makes some type of changes, he can just update it over here. It was modified at this time. So that's basically that. Created at is basically what I'm going to be using right now, a now function. So just click on this and click on now and dot format, and I'll leave it in default format only. So that's basically that. So it's going to append a row and then final node is going to be no operation row. It's basically do nothing. After doing the just do nothing. So it's just like that. Now this same thing over here is going to be applicable for the cancelled and rescheduled. So let me just copy all of this right now. Control C. Let me go back over here. Connect it to this over here. This thing is going to be cancelled. So that's that. And click on tidy up. Okay, it did it like that. Okay. So let me just drag and drop of this over here. So let me name this booking email confirmation. This is going to be cancelled email. Don't mind the spelling. I'm just leaving it like that. I'm just doing it so that you guys can understand. Then this is going to be rescheduled email. Then the SMS and also the same thing. Now for the cancelled one, you can do two ways. Either you can just delete it from the record completely. So to do that, instead of using append a row, you can just use something called as delete a row. So let me just show you. Go over here. You can see this. Click on sheet again. After clicking on sheet, you can click on this, and you can see something called as delete sheet. Where is that? Yeah, delete rows, columns from sheet. When you click on that, it will basically get deleted from the calendar over here. You can either use that. I'll show you. So to do that, I guess we need to get like some row ID or something. So click on this to delete rows. Yeah, you can either do that, or what basically what my plan was, if it's cancelled, it let me move it to a different spreadsheet, so that later on, like let's say 6 months from now or like 2 months from now, let me just check, like let me go through like who are the people who cancelled, or let me call them once again, to see if they are interested in our services again. You can do like that. So how do you do that is basically we're going to be using a search row module, because we want to search for the row. So we'll use where something called as get rows in this. In Google, in main.com, it is called search rows. Here it is get rows. Click on calendar DB, and from sheet is going to be appointment book. And the filter is going to be, now I told you here, the filter, if you have given a booking ID, so you can use the booking ID as a unique identifier. But if you don't want, you can just use email as the unique identifier, because everyone's, now when you cancel the appointment, like in 11 Labs, we're going to be taking their email and sending an email confirmation, like your appointment has been cancelled as an email. So we can use email as a unique identifier as well. So that email is basically what you get from this cancelled email over here. That's basically, you insert it over here. When you insert that, it will search the DB in this the DB where like the email matches that. When it matches that, it will get the row. It will get the row, and then afterwards you use another append a row. So basically, create a row again. So this time, when you click on append a row, it's going to be on a different sheet, because there's two sheets over here: one appointment book, one cancel appointment. So go back over here. From document is going to be the calendar, same database. From the sheet, there's two sheet. We'll change it to cancel appointment. And in the mapping column, again, how you mapped it in the first over here, append a row. Click on this. How you mapped everything like this, that same thing you're going to be mapping. So that's the same thing. For rescheduling, we're just going to be, I'll show you for rescheduling. Okay, let me just select both. Go back over here. For reschedule, click on this, click on sheet, Google Sheet, and you can see there's something called as update row in sheet, or again, you can create a new sheet for reschedule appointments. You can also do that as well. So there's both ways you can do. So click on update row, and when you do that, again, you're going to map all of this same thing. So that's basically the entire workflow over here. Let me just tidy up everything. So let me just delete this. We do not want that. So this thing over here. Yeah. So now that's your entire scheduling workflow built in N8N. Now I'll show you how you can create a ticket in Zendesk. So I don't know why this is got that. Okay, let me just cancel this. Go back over to this thing. Save this. When you click on create a new workflow. So here again we are going to be using a webhook post request, because let's create a tool. So click on add verb. When you do that, the name will be like create ticket. So like trigger this tool to create ticket. So it's going to be post method. Click on post. The URL is going to be the webhook URL in N8N, and the string will be ticket type. So the description will be like, or what will be the description like? The take the customers complaints or any dissatisfaction. I don't know the spelling of dissatisfaction. Let me just go back. I do know the spelling, but it's just like I'm too lazy to write everything. So let me just copy this. Go over here. Any dissatisfaction with services. So just that. Let me go back to this. Click on this webhook. Click on that. Change this method from get to post. So copy this. Then go back to ElevenLabs, go back to this URL tab, paste it, and then click on add tool. Okay, the description, okay. Again, the description is a required field. You should not leave the empty. So the description will basically like extract any complaints from the customer, or if they are unhappy with services. Then click on add tool. When you do that, now we can see the tool is added. Then click on save. After doing that, it's getting saved. Then go back to this thing. Then save that. When you receive, you will receive the ticket type. Then here, type in Zendesk. They have N8N already have a built-in this thing module integration with Zendesk. Then click on this create a ticket, and you should already have a connection. You should create a connection. If you don't know how to do that, then there's multiple YouTube videos. Just do that. Refer to that, and click on that. And in the description, you basically type like what type of ticket is going to be. So like customer has a problem, something like basic. Oh, that's that. Now let me just let, let me see if I can execute this alone. Okay, I can't. So wait, let me just create a trigger now. Let me create a different trigger. Go back to add another trigger manually. I'm doing it trigger map because I don't want to call the agent again to get the webhook response, all of that. So let me just click on this. Now it created an event. Okay, I need to log in everything, but when you do that, you can see the ticket has been successfully created. So okay, when you log into Zendesk in the N8N I showed you, it created the ticket, and you can see over here. Said like a customer has a problem, and you got the ticket over here. You can see over via API, and you can see it is given over here. And now from here, you can just pass on to the customer support team that you have, and from there you can just do different type of automation as well.